Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today the weekend has finally arrived, not a minute too soon. What is it about shorter weeks that just makes them so unbearable? But in any event, right before we hit the weekend, let's watch Capoch playing as the Mongols in red take on the Viper playing as the Saracens in blue. Now all the players heard their herdables explore their immediate surroundings and try to go up to Feudal Age ASAP. Let's take a look at the Civ matchup we'll be watching today. We've seen the Mongols recently. We know how powerful they are, an incredibly fast cavalry-centric civilization. Their scout line units come with extra line of sight. Their cav archers fire faster. Their light cav, their hussars, and their steppe lancers all come with extra HP, and their unique unit needs no introduction. The Mangadai, a fast-firing, quick cavalry archer with an attack bonus against siege units. Now, to keep up with their very, very fast army on the field of battle, the Mongols can upgrade all of their siege units to move 50% faster. Now, to help support their military endeavors, their hunters do work 40% faster, and that their houses can actually be upgraded so that they don't lose population space if they get destroyed. On the other side of the map, we've got the Viper playing as the Saracens, a civilization whose strong market can be used to gain an early to mid-game advantage over their opponents. Although Capoch here already, starting the aggression. Oh my goodness. Oh, seconds away from getting a villager. Looks like the Viper is fighting back. We'll keep an eye on this as we discuss the civilization. The Saracens, to start with their markets, only cost 75 wood. Oh no! 2 minutes, 50 seconds into the game, Capoch gets the first kill, and the Viper is already down a villager. Yikes. And look at that, Capoch says, I know when I've overstayed my welcome. My scout has 12 HP left. I am just going to abscond. What an absolute sour loss there for the Saracen. And by the way, speaking of the Saracens, not only are their markets super cheap, but their commodity trading fee is fixed at 5%, which is significantly lower than the 30% that other civilizations pay when they, for example, buy and sell resources earlier on in the game. Now, using their economic advantage, the Saracens can actually field quite a hard-hitting, tanky army. Their foot archers come with an attack bonus against buildings, which makes their aggression in Feudal Age, for example, a little bit scarier than usual. Their camel units come with 25% more HP, and look at the Viper, he wants revenge. He does not want to let this death go unanswered. The question is, the problem is, his scout is on the wrong side of the villager, and he does not get the sought revenge. Now, the Saracens also, their Trebs, their Mangonels, their Onagers can all be upgraded to get 15% stronger attack, and their unique unit, the Mameluke, is a ranged melee camel unit that actually comes with a pretty damn big attack bonus against cavalry, which might actually be a little problematic here for our Mongol. The Viper almost got vipered there. Now, if, as you know, sometimes does happen in the game of Age of Empires, a unit is injured, the HP goes down, for example, from 45 to 39. Saracen monks can now be upgraded with a new unique upgrade to automatically and passively heal any allied, or rather friendly, let's use the language of the game, any friendly units within a 5-tile radius. And by the way, this applies if the monk is moving or if the monk is walking around. I believe doing any kind of activity again, except actively converting, maybe. I'll look into the, I believe there is one exception. If somebody knows, let me know in the comments below. But it is a passive healing, which means you just place a monk, you research this upgrade, which by the way is super cheap, and all of a sudden your units in a 5-tile radius of your monk get healed 75 HP per minute, which is ludicrously fast. 75 HP per minute. In any event, the Viper now ahead one villager. Capoch using the Mongol speed to go up to Feudal Age a full 50 or so seconds ahead of his opponent. Let's take a look at where the resources are and how exposed the bases are. Primary gold and stone for the Viper. Yikes, in a big old open area. Speaking of open, look at this base. This is completely open. I don't even want to talk about the forests. Look how far away they are. He's got additional gold to the south, to the forward position. But this is basically an open base. So what can you do with something like this? I mean, the northwest, you can try to wall off, but the south likely will go in a line like this to create a funnel. Safe to say both players have discovered where their opponents are. It looks like Capoch is back to fill in a few of the dark spots on the map. Viper's scout also returns home after getting a little bit of scouting done himself, not too much. Capoch hits Feudal Age, immediately upgrading his lumberjacks, immediately training, producing more villagers. Let's take a look at his base. Gold and stone also exposed, although gold in more of a center position than the Vipers, whose gold is very much in the forward position, and also forests. I feel like he's got one forest, this one here to the top left, that's a bit closer to the town center, but also a fairly open base. So we'll see. These are not, how do I put this? These are not two turtle civilizations. These are two very fast, active civilizations, one with incredibly fast cavalry, one with incredibly fast camel units. So the fact that they can't wall off their bases might potentially lead to a little bit of shenanigans, which, if you guys know me, always down to clown with shenanigans. Both players now in Feudal.TheViper investing in eco upgrades. His farms will be a little bit more fertile than the Mongol farms, and he looks like he is long distance harvesting these deer. But in come two scouts, two spearmen. Uh-oh, these villagers are caught out in the open, and this is what I'm talking about on this map. But the villagers, I'm assuming they have loom. Yes, of course they have loom. Now here as the villagers, do you go after the spearmen or the scout? I think you should go after the spearmen. Once those spearmen are gone, then these scouts are going to be exposed to your spearmen. I mean, he's got one. And look at that, the Viper finally does manage to get his first kill. 80 food down the shitter for our Mongol. I believe that was the weaker scout. Viper, look at this. Take a look at his production tab. He's not training a single military unit. So confident is he in this one heroic spearman with one kill. Okay, didn't really wall off his berries, even though I think this is a fairly easy wall off. One palisade here, one palisade here. But Capoch is being unrelenting. 6 army supply to 4. He's ahead 2 villagers now. That being said, not much he can do here with melee units. Might want to throw in a few range. Nope, more melee on the way. And he is... oh my goodness. He is getting pushed back. The Viper finally has a semblance of an armed force. Here he's got 2 scouts going up to a third, 3 spearmen. Let's highlight their HP, see who's going to tinkle the other one to death. At this point, these scouts need to chase down these spearmen. I'm sorry, you need to risk some HP to get your opponent's units. The Viper being very, very careful, very, very cautious here. Absolute bedlam at the 13-minute mark of the game. Kill count 2-1 in favor of the Viper, but he did lose a villager. He's still down 2 villagers, but defender's advantage. His army, though, is moving out. Half his army is moving out into the middle of the map. A villager gets caught out, but Feudal Age units not exactly the fastest at killing villagers, which gives the Viper time to reposition his troops. Looks like he got a 3rd kill here. Who got it? The town center? No, not the town center. This spearman 1 kill. This spearman 0 kill. This spearman 0. Was it a villager? It's one of these villagers. Which of the berry pickers is the hero villager who got that kill? But uh-oh. This is not good. Scouts are here. He loses a spearman. Scouts trying to bust in to get to the villager line. Villagers need to get the hell away as more and more spearmen fight each other here. Another Saracen villager. The Viper's now down 3 villagers. Capoch, I'm sure, is super happy to throw away these scouts. Although, remember, once they hit Castle Age and once they become light cavalry, they get extra HP, 30% extra HP. So there is a huge incentive, just like with the Turks, for example, whose scouts become light cav automatically once they hit Castle Age. There's a lot of incentive. Oh, the Viper, a little bit too slow. Just a fraction of a second. But as I was saying, there is a huge amount of incentive to keep your scouts alive. So I'm not sure trading them for villagers. You know, you can always say trading them out, anything for villagers in the early stages of the game is fantastic. The further your opponent gets behind, it's a Age of Empires is like an exponential curve. Look, now the Viper is down for a second there. He was down 4 villagers, where before he was down 2, then 3, now 4. And it just all kind of adds up incrementally. That being said, if you're a civ with special features related to your scouts, my advice, try to keep those scouts alive as long as possible, at least until they can benefit and reap the rewards of some of these features. Looks like Capoch wants to wall these guys in. Nothing really here that the Viper can do. Looks like all the resources are walled off. Ooh, there's a big gap here, though. What's red doing? Red loses another scout. Oh, we'll have seen that in picture, but let's see what the Viper can do. Oh, he gets walled out. Is this open, by the way? What I feel like this is... Oh, no, there's a palisade that just dropped. So Capoch leaving a few holes in his defense that are getting plugged up kind of last minute, which is not terrible. Don't get me wrong, not a critique, but yeah, might want to not risk it. You know, you're playing an opponent like the Viper who has an amazing game sense, and now he's doing it. Now he's preemptively walling off up here. And yeah, Capoch's base is fairly secure. The Viper can't really engage into this. Spearman chases the scout. Oh. We'll get one poke. Nope. Scout uses its maneuverability, its speed to get the hell out of there. Second scout. Okay, 3 HP. You are most likely on relic duty. Spearman loses sight of where the hell that scout is and then pauses. So the Viper here still around with 5 scouts, still circling. Getting a good amount of info on his opponent, who is going up to Castle Age a full minute 20 or so seconds ahead of him. The Viper is just falling behind, even though, look at that, he's evened up the villager count. We'll see what our Mongol can do once he hits castles. No extra villagers on stone, so not looking to castle drop anytime soon. Capoch is paying attention. Dodges a few volleys, dodges another volley. Oh my god, look at this. This is ridiculous. He is just trying to get the Viper to idle his villagers so badly. It looks like the Spearman does fall after another Spearman fell. So these scouts do get some kills. And by the way, they also got some vision on these Step Lancers that are heading his way. Or maybe they didn't. Oh, that would be very sour for the Viper, who now catches... No, does not catch the villager. Okay, now surely he must see... Yes, he sees the 2 Step Lancers. So he knows he's got to get home. And remember, these Step Lancers come with extra HP instead of the usual 60. It is 60 plus 18. And then add Bloodline, 60, 18, and 20. Give you the 98 number you see here. The Viper, his quick walling is not as on point this game. And I'm surprised that Capoch stopped here. He could clearly attack this villager. This unit has 1 range, remember, but our Saracen going camels. Look at the HP on this camel. This is a Castle Age unit with 145 HP and a 9 should be attack bonus against cavalry. That being said, the numbers are just not there for the Viper. What are you surrounding here? A Spearman. Second town center going up next to the gold. Third town center going up next to the wood line. Market finally being built for our Mongol, who is doubling down on Step Lancers. He's going up to 8 Step Lancers. So he's finding these little fights, is Capoch, that are just absolutely helping him here against the Viper. Camel versus Step Lancer. Probably the Camel with 145 HP takes it. But how ridiculous is that? What non-unique unit in this game, cavalry, infantry, or ranged, ignoring siege, of course, has 145 or more HP? I mean, that is just ridiculous amounts of HP. I am loving... You guys know, I, number 1, love the Saracens. And number 2, now that they've been changed to make their camels a little bit tankier in Castle Age and to allow their monks to have passive healing, let's see how well they do. It's not a civ that gets picked very often, not a civ that has a super high win rate despite having that incredible market bonus and feature. Now camels are chasing Step Lancers. We got a battle of super duper fast units. Husbandry finishes right as that Step Lancer sees the wall off attempt and runs around to the other side. So the camel will catch him and has to back away. Will he get converted? Yes, it does. Unfortunately, the Viper does lose his camel. He's only got 2 left. This is a third of the Viper's army right here. He tries to... There you go. There's that quick wall off, but no, the Viper loses a villager. Will lose a second? Yes, he does. This monk has to abscond into the town center. It is so hard to wall off against the Step Lancers, which is, I'm not going to say why Capoch went Step Lancers, but it's good for him that he did. When your opponent is as quick with the keyboard as the Viper, having a unit that can pierce through a wall or a palisade or a gate, yikes, is absolutely a treasure. Speaking of treasure, getting 1 monk for the remainder of those scout units from the beginning of the game from Feudal Age. Viper. What the hell was that? That was a little double tap there. That was hilarious. Capoch isn't done though. Going up to two additional town centers himself. One next to the stone and wood, and one next to the gold. So fantastic locations there. Step Lancer gets converted. We've got our first Saracen Step Lancer of the day. Camels catch out a Mongolian monk. And now will the Viper's monk move forward? Why isn't he going to get that relic? Our Mongol, by the way, in the meantime, while we've been looking at the battles, has accumulated 3 relics. And here's that one range in display for all of us to see if we didn't already know. And now he feels comfortable to move out. Now he's got 2 monks. But our Mongol is not giving up this relic. He's going to try to convert 2 camels. He gets 1. He gets the 2nd. But he's going to lose 1 monk for it. Yikes, the Viper loses a camel to death. I don't know how else to say it. And then loses 2 more to conversions. And now he's going to lose his monks as well. Oh no, he only gets 1 convert. So the Viper's got 2 Step Lancers. The Mongols got 2 Saracen camels with their 145 HP, which is, again, is just ridiculous. But what is the Viper doing behind this? He's adding another stable. He's got 2 more camels training. He is now ahead 6 villagers. So let this be a lesson. I've seen a lot of games. I've heard a lot of read a lot of comments, heard a lot of live streaming players and viewers and all that. Oh, I lose 2 or 3 villagers in the beginning of the game. I might as well GG. I can't come back from that. Let the Viper, who, by the way, is housed. There is an epidemic of housing going on with these high elo players, but not for long. Not with 6 villagers. So the Viper's got big plans to train units? No, he's training a monk and 2 villagers. I don't know why he needs 6 villagers constructing houses on the quick right now. But let this be a lesson to you. If you find yourself in a position you've lost 2 villagers, 3 villagers in the beginning of the game, 5 villagers to 0, although it looks like the Viper is finally managing to get a few kills of his own here. Ooh, the wall off is not successful. Oh, these are a bunch of dead villagers. You can always come back. You can always try to come back. Camel's not exactly the fastest at killing villagers, but there's a lot of units here. I'm going to zoom out. The camel to the south dies to the town center. The camels to the north get 1 more villager. And now they abscond. So the Viper actually evens out the villager kill count, and he's ahead 14 villagers. But that's costing him. He doesn't have any food. He's not training. He's barely training any camels. He's got a good amount of gold. He's got more gold than Capoch has resources. And Capoch with 680 stone. Any minute now, we're going to see either a defensive castle or perhaps villagers moving out to build an aggressive castle. In the meantime, Capoch is chasing the Viper away to the south, to the north as well. So map vision for the Viper, let's take a look at it. Not great. There's 1 monk looking for relics here to the north. There's an army on full-on retreat to the south. The rest, he doesn't know what the hell. Oh, for example, he doesn't know that there's about 1 billion villagers here heading his way. He's going to know about it in a second. Let's see. Let's keep an eye on the Viper's vision. Oh, why did Capoch have to try to convert? Why did he have to reveal it with the monks? I mean, okay, never mind. The castle would have been revealed anyway. Viper does manage to get a kill. His camel army is starting to get pretty damn substantial. 17 camels. Our Mongol is now mixing camels. They're going to be... I clicked on the wrong camel. They're going to be capped out at 120 HP compared to 145. And they don't have the last armor upgrade, although we're not an Imperial, so not really relevant at the moment. What's more relevant is this big fat Mongolian castle. By the way, 9 more villagers on stone for our Mongol. So he is not planning on stopping castle production, and he's thieving stone right now. Does he know about the gold to the north? Yeah, he knows. So he's purposefully taking the stone. And he's purposefully busting his way into the Viper's base. I expect a second castle somewhere in this area, of course, which will jeopardize... Oh, if he can get it right here. This is why he wants this infrastructure down. If he can get it right here, 1, 2, 3 town centers could potentially all be... Oh my god, look at that. Oh no, it doesn't reach the last one. Does it? Oh, he's got no. He doesn't have fletching. He doesn't have anything. So now he's getting the upgrade, which will get the castle to the north. The castle to the center we already see is gotten. I don't know if he'll get the castle to the south with the red line here. It looks like it's still going to be just a tile away, but doesn't matter. This castle is attacking it and a whole bunch of cavalry. Capoch finds the perfect location for a castle. Holy moly, it is very rare. Okay, yeah, it does actually touch it. Very rare to get one castle and 3 town centers within its ambit. He's got 342 stone. Not too sure where he's going with these villagers. Okay. I mean, I thought the Viper building a house with 6 villagers was funny. No, Capoch says, hold my beer. 13 villagers. Got 11 villagers, 8 villagers on stone. At this point, honestly, if you're Capoch, you just buy the stone. You can feel it. You can feel it in the air. He wants to castle drop. He wants to keep pushing out castles. Why? Because he's going Mangadai. The Viper's villagers are not going to be safe. How is the Viper responding? He is heading up to Imperial. One of the classic responses to a castle push. Yeah, okay, so he bought the last 200 stone here, which is exactly what he should have done if he wants to keep the aggression going. A lot of players won't do that. Good for Capoch, by the way. He ran out of, basically spent all of his gold. But had he waited, had he given the Viper another minute and a half, who knows what the Viper would be up to or get up to. For now, he's a minute and a half away from Imperial. Has enough wood for 1 treb once he hits it. But again, fantastic move for Capoch to blow his entire gold bankroll to buy that 200 stone. And behind this, he's now back up to 300 stone. Viper going heavy on the cavalry. He has no food. He's got no food. I think he realized there a second ago that he was out of wood with that 1 extra stable, which means he can't really afford a treb, which is why he canceled it. Although with 40 seconds left, I'm sure he can gather enough food. Wood, rather. Uh-oh. I mean, look at the Viper's base. He's got his very defensive castle. Get yourself a Mameluke. Now, they don't have any attack bonuses against camels, but there's not only camels here. There's more Steppe Lancers and Mangadai than camels. What attack bonuses? Yeah, so just siege at the moment. Okay, the Viper hits Imperial immediately. 1 treb probably from the right, 1 treb from the left. But there are now Mangadai. Capoch mixing these guys in. Another castle goes up. Oh my god. The Viper has 1 safe town center. And that is here to the right. Look at this poor town center up here. Got demolished, cut off from his support. Capoch, I was about to say, fantastic job mixing in these Mangadai, because now with how many of them, 16, he can literally just run in and snipe trebuchets, even when they're unpacked. Even though it's just a +3 attack bonus right now, that's 48 extra damage to a unit that has 150 HP. So 2-3 volleys, and those and here we go. So he's gonna snipe the trebs. I'm surprised he's even running away, to be honest. Those monks will zone out the Viper's units quite well, and now the Viper's villagers to the south are dying. Sounds of battle, sounds of bombardment everywhere. Trebs gunning down a castle. Why are these Steppe Lancers here? And the tankiness of these Saracen camels is what saves them. He's still got 20 army count, and he's going up to heavy camels. First castle of the Mongols does fall. There's how many? 4 trebs. Is the Viper going to hold? This is an absolute incredible hold from him if he can. This is going to be one for the history books. 4 Mongol castles, 21 Mangadai, 9 Steppe Lancers, 9 camels, 2 of which have your level of HP. And look at that unit. I've said it before, I'll say it again, and I will continue to say it. Saracen is to camels what Franks are to paladins. The Viper has 1 town center left, but he is at above 300. Oh my god, I bet he wishes he was at 300 villagers. Uh-oh, Mangadai, you gotta get the hell out of here. This is now an 18 attack bonus against cavalry. What an absolute crazy game. The Viper, if he can hold, like I said, will be one for the history books. because this is an absolute insane push out of our Mongol. But look at army counts. The Viper's down half. Luckily for the Viper, though, I will say one thing that Capoch is doing, and it's not Capoch is doing something wrong or can do something better. It's just a necessity of when you enter into a base this big and dispersed. Capoch is carving up his army. He's got double the army, more than double the army count, but 25 Mangdai here, 18 cavalry units here. Now they're together. But for a while, the Mangdai were here, the Camels and Steppe Lancers were here. The Viper had an opportunity that he could have absolutely used. Instead, he's going raiding on the other side of the map. No. We've seen pro players do this so many times, and it never works. It absolutely never works. Villagers are just being slaughtered. The Viper, I'm looking at the minimap, he's not even in the base yet. The villagers are already absconding into the town centers. And now our Mongol and Imperial gets his own Trebs out. And the Viper runs into a castle trying to get into the stone pile. This is an absolute terrible, terrible situation for the Viper. Although he's got 31 army. Thermi, I don't know what Thermi is. That's not a word. 36, 35 army count. He's starting to mix in light cavalry units. He does have the infrastructure here. Look how many stables he's plopped down. 10 stables. And now he's chasing into the Mangdai. He's gonna get the Trebs. Oh, how slow freaking camels are. If you didn't believe me, if you thought I was just rambling like a madman before about how I don't like them because they're so slow at killing things, how long did it take that Treb to fall? And now the Viper's been knocked down to 21 army count, and our Mongol is 18 seconds away from himself having heavy camels. This is just an absolute terrible fight. I suspect we're going to get to see a GG, or we're going to see a GG fairly soon, because I don't think the Viper would have taken that fight unless he knew he was tapping out. One more volley, one more volley, one more volley. Yeah, and oh, the castle is repaired. Capoch bought stone to repair it, knowing that the Viper would only get one more volley off. Oh, that's the last thing the Viper needs right now, is to deal with Mother Nature. Capoch, oh, this is gonna be bad. This is gonna be so bad. Oh God. Wow, what an absolute insane push out of our Mongol, who loses half his castles. He started with 4. It looked like the shape of the Big Dipper. What just an absolute crazy game. Again, if you lose villagers in the beginning, do your darndest to catch up. Not the end of the world. Fantastic play out of both players, by the way. Look at the Viper's base. Look how far he expanded. South, west, east. He went everywhere. The problem is no more defensive structures, no town centers, no castles, no towers, nothing, nowhere, no fortified churches for these villagers to garrison inside. And all of a sudden, 25 out of 91 villagers, more than a quarter of the Viper's civilian population, is about to get gunned down by the fastest firing cav archer in the game. Okay, never mind, he's not elite yet, so I retract, a fast firing cav archer. Not yet at 1.4 second delay. It looks like again he was trying to raid. Oh, these camels. 18 kills, 17 civilians. Oh, mama. Definitely going to see that in picture. So the Viper getting a good amount of kills. Let's take an actual look at the civilian kills. Capoch killed 40. The Viper was down to, I think he only killed like 5 or 7 up until a few minutes ago. 34. So the Viper gave as good as he got. The problem is his base was not under attack. He didn't have one town center. Rather, he did have one town center to the 3 of his opponents. And with that terrible fight here, he loses all of his Trebs, which means these castles are not going anywhere. Not that I think these castles are very problematic at the moment. They were when they first went up. They zoned out the town center. They cut the Viper's base into little tiny pieces. But now that they're kind of just here, you've got a mobile force. You don't really need to deal with these castles as long as you can defend your own. You don't really need to engage into here immediately. I mean, eventually, sure, of course, you want to destroy them, but no real rush to do so. What a bonkers game. What an amazing push out of Capoch. And what a Bruce Lee style defense. You know, be the shape of water. If water is in a jug, it's in the shape of a jug. Capoch pushes into here, and the Viper just flows to the south, to the east, to the west. But ultimately, he flows too much and cannot defend his villagers against these Mangudai, which already 47 kills. 47 kills, 22 of them civilians, which is absolutely bonkers. Let's take a look at the numbers. 50 Mangudai, 66 heavy camel riders. Again, remember, these guys now have 25% more HP. PKPM for the Viper. Hera levels are in the middle of the game. PKPM right at the beginning of the game for Capoch. Let's see what his economy was like with 4-to-1 relics. Yeah, 2,200 extra gold, which basically explains the difference in gold count. He also had a bit more food, a lot more stone, and fell behind significantly on wood. Okay. Our Saracen went super heavy on the wood. Let's take a look at conversions. 11 conversions out of 91 is not bad. That's more than 10% of the Saracen army that was converted. For his part, the Viper, about 5% of the Mongol army. So good numbers for both players, to be honest. 5%, 11, 12%. These are good amounts of your opponent's army to take as part of your own. But unfortunately for the Viper, he just couldn't stop this push. He just was not able to. He did the classic response. He rushed up to castle with 2 castles. He rushed up to Imperial with 2 castles, pumped out a Treb out of each one. Did, again, manage to gun down 2 castles here, but by then it was way too late. By then it was just too late. And Capoch, again, I will emphasize the point that he bought the stone. I forget if it was this castle or this castle. He bought the stone. He spent all of his gold. I believe he even sold a resource for gold so he could afford to buy the stone so that he could get this castle up literally 40 or so seconds, 60 seconds before he could get it up, had he just waited to mine that extra 100 or 200 stone. So he wanted to put the pressure on, and he did, even at the sacrifice of all the other resources in the game. And ultimately it worked out for him, because with the castle push and with the Mangudai just absolutely wrecking the Viper's economy, even though, again, the Viper put up an amazing defense, despite being down 5 villagers, 5 dead villagers in the beginning of the game. Ultimately, it is Capoch, our Mongol, with one of the craziest lightning fast Mongol speed pushes that I've seen lately, who takes the W. But GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.